My name is Christopher Ouma. I am an associate professor in the Department of English at UCT with recently a joint appointment with African Studies.
I'm Dr. Khwezi Mkhize. I'm a lecturer in the Department of African Literature at the University of the Witwatersrand.
So we are here at STIAS. It's the two of us and one of our other colleagues, Mandisa Haarhoff, who is also in the English department at UCT, who couldn't be in the residence physically, but she's been part of our group with our online sessions every day. Dr. Mandisa Haarhoff in the English department at UCT. So we are here at STIAS and we are working on a project titled Black Archives and Intellectual Histories, and it's based on a number of seminars that we had at UCT in 2018 that were funded by the Andrew Mellon Foundation. And the seminars brought together scholars, activists, and public intellectuals from the continent and the diaspora. And the seminars were meant to engage with what the hashtag fees must fall, hashtag roads must fall, hashtag patriarchy must fall, protests that really changed the landscape of higher education in 2015 and 2016. So the seminars were responding to that, and they were bringing scholars of color to engage with archives in the continent and the diaspora. And it's going to be an edited book that we are doing, and we are here at STIAS to work on the introduction and to putting together the book over the course of next year.
For us, the project of going from a seminar series to a book has been quite instructive, eye-opening, quite labor-intensive, trying to move from seminar presentations to trying to curate some sort of written version of that would serve a number of purposes. On the one hand, it would be an archive as well as a kind of a snapshot of a particular moment in time that we quite strongly felt was important to project into sort of the public imagination and discourse, given that we're now in a moment where things seem to be aligning in different kinds of ways, even though those kinds of urgencies that animated those movements still remain. STIAS has been quite important in giving us the space and time to reflect on that moment in 2018 when we began this work, as well as to see it through. It's been nothing short of that kind of necessary kind of space to breathe, to reflect, and to make good on a project that was, for us, made possible by our intellectual predecessors, such as Professor Harry Karuba and Professor Ndongela Masilela, who are no longer with us, but who continue to inform a lot of the work that we do. So this is a project. It's not simply a project. This is a moment in which we are also thinking about what it means to have intellectual ancestors.
Right. And I mean, at the heart of it, really, as Dr. Mkhize is saying, is to not just recognize intellectual ancestors, but also to make a pedagogical intervention. When we locate ourselves, not just in South Africa, but the Cape, how do we project ideas around decolonization in relation to the continent and the diaspora? And so the project really is not just about accessing archives and putting out scholarship. It's also about bringing that back to the classroom and reflecting on what the post-apartheid moment might mean when we rethink the archive, and to put our students through a process where they locate their generation now in relation to other intellectual ancestors in South Africa, the continent, and the diaspora.